friends, welcome to today's video in which I'm going to be telling you how to use less plastic. So if you don't already know why it's super important that we reduce our plastic waste, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what happens when you use plastic, when you throw away plastic, and when you recycle plastic. So I'm sure you all have been hearing a lot about plastic ending up in the ocean. And when I first started learning about this, I didn't really understand how my trash, which comes from the Midwest, would be ending up all the way out in the ocean. But here's the thing. Plastic can take anywhere from 10 years to 1,000 years to literally forever to disintegrate. And even the plastic that has disintegrated is not necessarily gone because it can't really be broken down by bacteria. And almost all the plastic we've ever produced still exists and will still exist for years and years to come. So while it may seem like your trash isn't close to the ocean and probably won't end up there, if you give it a few hundred years, it's really not that unlikely. Basically, our trash goes into landfills and it is blown away from the landfills. It's swept away by bodies of water, by runoff, by wind, by storms, and when it's in the landfill, buried underneath millions and billions of other pieces of trash, it is definitely not getting decomposed, it is definitely not going anywhere. It will stay there indefinitely. So basically, when trash ends up in the ocean, it gets caught in these big round currents called gyres. They're literally just mounds of trash, and it's extremely difficult to clean up. Sea animals mistake it for food, they ingest it with their food, they can be impaled, they can be suffocated, they can be strangled. I'm sure you've seen the pictures. I don't really want to put them here because they're sad, but you can look that up. Millions and millions of sea animals are dying from this. And not only the sea animals, all the ocean life in general is where most of our oxygen comes from. And if those plants are being suffocated by these big mounds of trash and dying, then we are going to run out of oxygen. We're literally killing ourselves off. Not to mention that if you're someone who eats seafood, you're literally eating your own plastic trash. It's going right back into your body, which is terrible for you. Also, recycling plastic is obviously a better alternative to throwing it away, but we have to remember that recycling is a business, and if the market demand is not high enough for the product that we've recycled, then the recycling facility will throw it away, and it will end up in the landfill, and it will end up in the ocean. And sadly, that's what happens to almost everything that we recycle. So if you think it's a good idea to just use whatever you want and it's okay because you recycled it, I'm sorry to tell you it's not. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I can tell you 20 ways that you can not contribute to this problem. So the first way is the most obvious and the most difficult one to internalize. We need to stop buying so much. We need to stop buying so much food. We need to stop buying so many self-care products. We need to stop buying so many clothes. Pretty much every single thing that you consume has involved plastic waste. Even if you're buying clothes and you're using your reusable bag or you're not using a bag, you and I cannot even comprehend how much plastic and how much waste goes into creating everything that we buy. Even if it's something that doesn't particularly involve a lot of plastic packaging, it was probably packaged in plastic at some point during production and shipped to the store in a plastic container. And not only plastic, but has also wasted cardboard, wasted paper, wasted energy, etc., etc., etc. All for something that we don't really need. The earth literally provides us everything that we need. As long as we keep taking care of the earth, we're gonna have our needs met. Humans existed for hundreds and hundreds of years before the Industrial Revolution, before we could have anything we wanted at our fingertips, and they were fine. So if it's something that you don't need, just try to say no or find a better alternative that's waste-free. The second thing you can do is avoid buying things that are individually packaged. If you have access to a bulk store where you can bring your own containers to fill, that's the best way to go about buying food. But if you can't, just look for things that aren't individually packaged. You don't need individually packaged cookies. You don't need individually packaged chips. You don't need individually packaged slices of cheese. Like, just buy a block of cheese. I know this can be less convenient, but eating this way can save you money and it can also save the planet. So, convenience, planet. Probably planet. If you're buying individually bottled drinks, just buy the big bottle and you can put it in your bottle every morning. It really doesn't take that long and it makes a really big difference. The third thing is pretty obvious. We all know this one. It's mostly just a matter of remembering. Bring a reusable bag to the store. The average person uses something like 500 to 700 plastic bags per year, which is crazy. Plastic grocery bags are something that should have honestly never been invented in the first place. There's nothing wrong with a reusable bag. It's just better. And I still mess up sometimes. I forget to bring my bag to the store, or I leave it in my car. A way that I try to help myself remember is if I don't bring my bag in, I kind of punish myself by making myself, carry everything out in my arms, and it's a big hassle, and the people will check my receipt because they think I'm stealing something. But it makes me remember next time. And honestly, if you can carry it around the store, you can carry it out. It's just a matter of saying, hey, hold up there, cashier. Don't put my stuff in a bag. Or obviously, like at the self-checkout, like just don't put your stuff in the bag. And you can get a reusable bag at pretty much any store, or you can make your own, even better. Just keep them in your car, bring them in. Another easy thing is making your own or buying your own reusable produce bags. Basically, if you need a produce bag, any kind of like lightweight material will work. Just keep it in your car, inside your other bag, and just bring it in when you go to the store. The next thing you can do is just take a look at what you're buying, and if it's wrapped in plastic, look for an alternative, because there probably is one. A lot of produce, fruits, and vegetables come wrapped in plastic, but if you look around, there are probably some around that aren't wrapped in plastic, and you can just grab those instead. They're also usually cheaper. Things like bread and meat and cheese are often sold in paper if you look for where you can get those. If you're buying meat and cheese, you can go to the deli and you can put it in your own container, or you can ask for it wrapped in paper instead of getting it from the refrigerated section at the grocery store. You can also opt to go to natural food stores or bulk food stores where you can bring your own container, or you can go to the farmer's market where you can find produce that is not wrapped in plastic. And that also supports local businesses, and that also cuts down on all the wasted energy from shipping and fights big farming. It's just all around a better option. And buying fruits and vegetables from the farmer's market is way cheaper, and it's more fun. It's a fun activity. Also, things like dish soap, laundry detergent, body wash. You don't need these things necessarily in a container. Even shampoo and conditioner you can buy in bars that come wrapped in cardboard or paper. And if you can incorporate these things into your routine, then over your lifetime it's going to make such a huge difference. Basically, if you're at the store and you're about to buy something wrapped in plastic, just look around and see if you can find something that's wrapped in less plastic. And if you can't find anything, then you can check out other stores or online stores that are producing the same thing but with way less cost to the environment. This next thing is something that I've done my entire life and honestly just never thought that much about. Ziploc bags. Who needs it? You have Tupperware in your cabinet. I know you have containers in your cabinet. Why do you need to put something in a Ziploc bag instead of a container? It makes no difference. So just put it in a container. It's super easy and you can feel good. If you're buying new Tupperware, you should definitely opt for glass or metal. But if you already have plastic Tupperware, the best thing you can do is just use what you already have. Because like I said, anything that you can do to keep from buying something is reducing waste more than you can even imagine. The next thing you can do is stop using disposable straws and silverware. If you're on the go, there's all kinds of fun, reusable straws that you can get that will cut down on plastic straws. And we all know the media is very big into cutting down on straws lately, and there's been a lot of backlash with that. And a lot of people saying, well, straws aren't really the main problem. We need to look at things on a bigger scale, which is true, but straws can cause a lot of harm to animals because they can get stuck in their noses, they can impale them, and using that straw for 30 minutes really isn't worth that animal's life. So bring a reusable straw, or simply just say, no thanks, I don't need a straw. And this one does make me feel uncomfortable sometimes because a straw is not really something that someone asks you if you want. They usually just give it to you. And I'm like watching the waiter to see when they reach for their pocket, and I'm like, whoa, 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 no straw for me, buddy. I feel silly, but in the long run, it's worth it. And also, the waiter doesn't really care or know who you are, and they're not gonna be bothered that you don't want a straw. And maybe it'll get them thinking, Maybe it'll get the people you're with thinking. Anything you can do that makes you feel embarrassed is probably getting other people thinking about it in a way that they hadn't before. I carry a silicone straw on my keychain. It's in a little container, and I love it. It's just nice to drink out of. It's like chewy. It's just better than a plastic straw, and it's cute. And I feel cool, honestly, when I have it. Now, it isn't a little plastic thing on my keychain, so a better alternative would be a metal straw that just has a keychain on it, and they look super cool. And I'll link those down below, along with all of these things, so you can find the right straw for you. The silverware one is a little bit harder to remember, but you can buy a travel set or just bring a fork and a knife and a spoon and just keep them in your glove box, and when you get fast food, just use those instead of the disposable ones. And you can wash it in the bathroom and put it back in your car, or you can take it home and wash it. But as long as you can get past being able to remember to bring it, you're gonna be good to go, and you're gonna be doing so much good for the planet. Number 7, reusable cups and bottles. Obviously, we all know that plastic water bottles suck and you should always use a reusable bottle, but recently I've been trying to take it to the next level of never ever using disposable cups. A lot of times when you go to parties or events or gatherings, you don't even think about the fact that you have your water bottle, and if someone hands you a plastic cup, you're gonna use it. But really, you could just drink from your water bottle, or you could bring your own cup if you want to have a beverage other than water, or put the other beverage in your water bottle and wash it. There's just really no reason that we ever need to be using disposable cups. And if you're someone who likes to get coffee a lot, whether you're getting free coffee at work or church, or you are buying coffee, you can bring your mug, you can give it to the employees at Starbucks or whatever, and most likely they're gonna be totally fine putting your coffee in a reusable mug. And with these things, it's also good to use what you already have, but if investing in a water bottle or a reusable mug that you really, really like is something that will help you remember, then you should definitely do that. For me, I put stickers on my water bottle that make me like it more. Whatever you can do to remember is a good thing to do. The 8th thing you can do is buy secondhand goods, especially secondhand clothing. A few months ago, I decided to completely stop buying clothing that is not either secondhand or fair trade, and at first I was like, my aesthetic is gone. To me, I thought I was giving up being cute, I thought I was giving up being trendy. No. Ever since I started doing this, I have found the coolest clothes that I've ever had, and they all cost like $1, which is great, because there's a billion other things I'd rather be doing with my money than spending it on clothes. Most of us don't really have any idea how horrible the textile industry is. Even if you're not using a bag, those clothes were probably shipped to the store individually packaged. I used to work in retail, and every week we would get a shipment in, and these clothes would often come individually packaged in plastic wrappers. And what would we do? We would take all of those plastics and put them in another plastic bag and throw them away. Big giant plastic bags full of plastic. We were just throwing away. There was literally no reason for that. They could have just been put in the box. That's the way that a lot of companies work. And I don't even know what happened before that. They could have been in other plastic wrappers before that. The fabric was probably wrapped in plastic and shipped to the factory where it was made into clothes. We don't even understand the extent of all the waste that can come from just one piece of clothing. And I probably don't want to know, because then I'd be sad. And if you're giving your money to any company that doesn't do everything they can for the environment, then you're only encouraging that wasteful behavior. And if you take a step back and say, hey, I'm not gonna give you my money, then they're gonna say, hey, these companies that care about the planet are doing better than us, so we better care about the planet. You vote with your dollars, you know? Vote for Earth. Anyways, so yeah, basically if you're thrifting, you don't have to worry about any of that. And you'll find cool stuff, you know? If you're being cool to the planet's gonna be cool to you, and you're just naturally gonna find the coolest clothes. That's just how that works. And if you're someone who's like, oh man, this really sucks because I love this certain brand a lot, you can still have that brand, just look for it used. You can look for it online, on Facebook Marketplace. Most things that you want that are specific, you can find used. A lot of times people sell things that were never even worn, and you get them for cheaper than you would have. You save money, you save waste, you save the earth, and you can still wear what you want. Number 9, bamboo. Bamboo products are great, and basically anything you can buy that's made out of plastic, you can buy it made out of bamboo instead. And bamboo is actually biodegradable, which means bacteria can actually break it down, unlike plastic, and it turns back into the dirt, and it turns back into the earth, and it's wonderful. And it looks cool. Like, bamboo just looks cool. So basically, like plastic toothbrushes, plastic silverware. If you're having like a big gathering and you don't want to use metal silverware, you still want to have disposable silverware, you can get large quantities of bamboo cutlery for parties or events at basically the same cost as you can get plastic ones. You can get bamboo toothbrushes, you could get bamboo shelves, you can get bamboo, I don't know, literally anything. If you're about to buy something that's plastic, just take a second, take a breath, look up bamboo, blah, 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 whatever you were gonna buy. And it probably exists, and it's probably not that expensive. And you look cool because you got a bamboo toothbrush or something. Now number 10 is one that actually really surprised me because I had absolutely no idea that this product was plastic. Any sort of face wash or body wash that is a scrub and is grainy probably has microbeads in it, which are actually made out of plastic. So that, on top of the fact that whatever chemicals are in that are probably horrible for the environment, little tiny pieces of plastic that are literally impossible for animals not to consume are just getting sent right into our waterways. Pretty easy alternatives to this. You can use an exfoliating brush. I have a little silicone brush. I could link that down below. You can use cleansing grains, which you can make yourself or you can buy. They pretty much feel the same as microbeads, and I can link a tutorial or a place you can buy them or something. I'll put that there for you. It's a super easy swap to make. Just stop using scrubs, basically. It's better anyways to make your own because then you're not using the bottle. So while we're on the topic of self-care, the 11th thing is razors. Buy metal razors. You can recycle metal razors way easier than plastic ones. So, you know, just invest in a metal razor. It'll last longer, it will probably work better, it'll look fancier, and you're saving hundreds and hundreds of razors from getting swept out into the abyss of the Earth's water. That made sense. So the 12th thing I want to talk about is any kind of reusable product or procedure that you can get that keeps you from using a disposable product is a good investment. So since we were just talking about razors, maybe you should look into laser hair removal. And I know that you probably think it's super expensive, but if you get on Groupon, I can guarantee you that there's a laser hair removal place close to you that is doing it for a much lower cost. So yeah, I'm giving you an excuse to treat yourself right now. There's no reason not to. You know that over time, it's gonna save you money, it's gonna save you time, it's gonna save you stress. If there's hair on your body that you don't want, just get it lasered off, man. Like, just make the investment if you can. If not, you know, metal razor. And this also goes for other cosmetic treatments. Maybe you get your eyebrows microbladed so you don't have to fill them in. Maybe you get eyelash extensions so you're not buying these big plastic packages that eyelashes come in. Like I said, this is an excuse to treat yourself. And basically any product that you use that comes in a plastic container, try to see what you can do to not use that. So for example, I have curly hair, so I can use a lot of products in my hair. But I actually bought this little cap that goes on my blow dryer, so it's like I'm getting my hair dried in a salon. And I don't need to use nearly as much product, and my hair looks great when I do that. And again, I'm saving myself money here, and I'm saving the planet. And this thing didn't cost me that much, so you know, even if it's something that is expensive, if you're using that instead of something that you have to continuously buy, continually. If you're using that instead of something that you have to continually buy, it's gonna be a better option for you financially and logically, you know, environment-wise. Number 13, for all you menstruators out there, stop using pads and tampons. I know this is your personal choice, and I feel bad saying such things, but honestly, so much waste comes from these things, and so much money gets spent on these things. Obviously, that's a different rant, but look at what you're buying. The best thing that you can do is use a menstrual cup because they last like forever because they're silicone, and they're pretty much better in every way. They prevent infection, they save you money. I know it's scary to switch to something new, but hey, if you use tampons, you remember that that was scary at first, you know? You get through it. You get through it, you know? If that's something that you just can't get by, you can look into other options like reusable pads or organic tampons that don't involve plastic packaging. Just do your research here, put a little bit more thought into it. It's probably gonna end up saving you time and money. The Diva Cup is one of the best investments I've ever made. And like I said, I know it's scary. If you have any questions, you can comment down below or, you know, ask around. You probably have friends that would be happy to help you learn, so. Let's all menstruate responsibly, am I right? Number 14, hangers. Who needs a plastic hanger? Nobody. You can get a metal hanger. It's the same price. I don't know if I even need to include this one, but for me personally, as a kid, I went through phases where I thought that I needed all my hangers to be a certain color, so I took all my hangers and got rid of them and got all new hangers, and they were all plastic, and that's just why, you know? Use the hangers you have. Try to recycle them if you don't want them anymore. And if you're gonna go out and buy hangers, just don't buy plastic ones, just buy metal ones. and those are 100% recyclable. So yeah, that's an easy swap, just something to think about. Number 15, things you get in the mail. I know you think, hey, this video is about plastic, most mail is paper, but actually, if you look at it, it probably has one of those little plastic windows in it. And also, just like with the production of clothing and other goods, you have no idea how much plastic has been used in the process of getting that mail to you. So if it's something that you accidentally subscribe to and you just throw it away, or if it's a bill that you could just pay online, really anything you get in the mail, look at it, see if you can say, hey, don't send me this anymore. It saves not only plastic waste, but energy and paper waste and trees, etc. If you get the newspaper, do you even look at it? It comes in a plastic bag. So like, why not just read it online, you know? Just read it online. Newspapers, it's not 1930, okay? You don't need that. For number 16, while we're on the lines of mail, if you are somebody who likes to send mail, here are things you don't need to buy. Packages, bubble wrap, packing peanuts. Who needs it? You probably have something sitting around, old paper, old fabric, old clothes, old bubble wrap or packing peanuts. I personally save every piece of bubble wrap that I receive in a package just in case I need to send something, then I have bubble wrap so I don't have to worry about purchasing that. And I really don't contribute to the production of bubble wrap. Same for boxes. Don't go out and buy a cardboard box. Just save the cardboard boxes that you get. If you are ordering things online and they come in a cardboard box, just save that and then you have that for when you're ready to mail something else. Same thing with packages. I save all my packages. If you receive something in a package, just be mindful, you know, tear it at the seal. Don't just like rip it open. And then you have a package you can use for somebody else and you don't have to go out and buy a package. You save money and the planet. How many times have I said that in this video? I don't know, but you know, it's what's important. We gotta, I don't know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, right? Number 17, air fresheners. Who needs it? Not you. You can use candles. You can use incense. I love incense. I have some incense burning over there right now. You can use diffuser reeds and oil. These diffuser reeds came in paper and this oil came in glass and this thing came from a thrift store. So basically, there was no plastic involved in that, and that's great. If you're someone that loves to have a great smelling car, I'm right there with you. I always have air fresheners on my vents. This is something that you can easily make or buy in a way that doesn't involve plastic, because as soon as that stuff runs out, you're obviously gonna throw away the plastic. But you can buy or make air fresheners that come in little like burlap bags that work just as well, maybe even better, and it's just better for everyone. And they look cool. They look really cool in your car, way cooler than a plastic air freshener, and people are gonna be like, whoa, what's that? And then you can tell them, and you know, they might just decide to do it. So it's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. Everything you do is bigger than you. That sounds like a song, but it's not, just something that I said. I also want to say, I just thought of this. Whenever you go buy incense, it's probably from a place where you just pick out what you want and you put it in a plastic bag, but you can use a reusable bag. Or just, you know, reuse your bag from last time. Just something to think about. It's a small thing, but, you know, over time, it makes a big difference. We want to reduce our plastic as much as we can here. Number 18, trash bags. I've always saved all my bags and just used them for trash. And I would never have just taken a bag and thrown it away, but I realized that's what I was doing every time I took out my trash. I was just throwing away a bag needlessly. So if you go to stores where you don't use reusable bags and you get paper bags, or you want to buy paper trash bags, or, you know, just ask around your friends and family. Say, hey, do you have like extra paper bags that I could have? You put those in your trash can. Instead, they disintegrate into the earth. They don't last for hundreds of years. And if you do have plastic bags that you would have been using for your trash, you know, you can recycle those. Number 19, reuse bottles. Reuse bottles. Reuse bottles. If you have face wash, shampoo, cleaner, reuse it. I know what some of you are gonna do is you're gonna try to be eco-friendly and you're gonna try to make your own stuff and you're gonna go out and you're gonna purchase a plastic spray bottle to put that stuff in. And you don't need to do that because you already have all these bottles that you've basically gotten for free. You have spray bottles, you have bottles with pumps, you have squirty bottles. You probably have any kind of container that you could ever want. And if you don't have a use for it, save it and, you know, maybe you'll come up with something. There are so many cool things you can do with bottles. I'll probably make a whole video about it. So, you know, like and comment if you want that. But don't throw away your bottles. And obviously, like, try to purchase less of them if possible. Which leads me to the 20th thing, which is make your own stuff. There are so many things that we buy that we could easily make, and that's literally just companies profiting off of our laziness and our lack of knowledge about what's in the products. If you look at a bottle of anything, whether it's something that you use for self-care or for cleaner or anything like that, it tells you the active ingredients. It tells you all the ingredients right there. A lot of times it says on the front, coconut oil and shea butter. Why not just buy coconut oil and shea butter? And then you don't get any of those extra ingredients that you know, can't pronounce and that you've never heard of before and that are killing the planet. You don't need those. Who needs it? Not you. You got coconut oil and shea butter. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you can easily make, whether it's a product that you use for your body or a cleaner. Cleaners are some of the easiest things to make. You can literally use baking soda for like anything. I know this is very vague, but you can look this stuff up super easily. How to make your own cleaner. And it's probably gonna cost you like virtually nothing, especially when you use your old spray bottle from the cleaner you had before. And you're gonna save so much money, and you're gonna be doing so much good, and you're gonna be saving so much waste from being released into the planet. And it would just be so nice if we all did this. Just make your own stuff whenever possible. I know a lot of times it's hard to make certain things, and I'm gonna try to give you all the resources you need to know how to make this stuff, but just like take a second, take a breath, Google it, and see what you can do. You know what I'm saying? And it's fun. It's fun to make stuff. I like making stuff. Some of the stuff I've made is better than anything I've bought. So yeah, at this point I'm just rambling, but that was the 20 things, and I hope you enjoyed this video. This is what my channel is gonna be from here on out, so if you're interested, you can subscribe. Until next time, keep loving the planet will keep loving you, and I'll see you in my next video.